Is there
They've always used the Word of God for their own purposes. There is so much. We could be here for days. I could tell you so much. I mean, their religious views change with the wind. It is not consistent and has never been consistent. John and her change it according to what will suit them at the moment, because they have changed. Just because he was, a good example, just because he wanted to smoke cigarettes and he was jealous over the fact that I guess my mom and dad were married for a very long time and they had 3 kids, he had her convert to Catholicism. Just long enough.
Okay,
So he could,
can you repeat that again? He had her convert to Catholicism?
Yeah, he had her convert to Catholicism. It was before they moved away from here.
All right.
Because he wanted the marriage annulled. And he wanted it, I mean, and he liked to smoke cigarettes, so a lot of Catholics smoke cigarettes and stuff, and it was okay. And so he could say, okay, I can smoke because now we're Catholic. And so he just picks what he wants, what suits him for the moment, and he goes with that. He doesn't go with any kind of, they don't stick with anything. They don't stick with any kind of religion. It changes based on his religious views, and hers change based on what he wants and what they want for the moment. There's no consistency whatsoever. There never has been. It's changed so much.
Wow.
It's unbelievable. It changes with the wind. It's always something new, and so we're kind of used to that part.
So as he uses the Word of God at this very day for his own purposes, he did it back then, and he used the religion of Catholicism to have your biological mom's marriage to your father annulled, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then right after he got the annulment, they changed it again. So it's never consistent. Just what he wanted, and he used religion, and he found a way to get what he wanted, and then changed it again. And we have tried, my brother and sister and I, we don't sit around bitter and angry at her for what she did. You can't do that because it eats your life away if you do that. I mean,
yeah.
I tell you honestly, I forgive her, and I know that my sister and my brother both say, we forgive her. But the fact is, she's got to stop. They have to stop hiding from they think that they're using the Bible to get the word out, but they're using it to hide from the things that they've done, and they're never, they're never going to be okay until they can be honest with everybody and themselves, because right now they're just not.
All right, yeah. Well, I think you're right. You can forgive them, but there's no way to justify their wickedness at this time.
Right.
All right, okay. And well, can you tell us a little bit more about about their marriage? Does your biological mom really love this guy?
John? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, she left him when they still lived with us before they took off. She left him several times, and that is when. And we watch this and we see John saying that he's a prophet of God and stuff. Everybody should know that John only started being a prophet and having prophetic sight and all this when my sister left him. And he did this to try to bring her back, which worked. His prophetic visions and the stuff he says is prophecy and that comes to him, that only started as a means of control, because he was losing control with my mother, and to bring her back to him. And when it started to work, and she started to pull her away from her family, meaning me and her siblings and her own kids and all that. That's when they took out of state and they took off and went somewhere else. But the prophetic visions that he claims he has are nothing more. They started as nothing more than a means of control. It's just yet again him using God as a way to get what he wants, a means to an end.
Alright, so this man claims to be a prophet. He claims to have visions. All this, he basically made this up to just, keep your mom.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. We sat here and watched it happen. We watched it deteriorate to what it is today.
Alright. Wow, these are quite...
I don't know if they're claiming now that they have a ministry or whatever, but I know there's not any kind of ordained relationship. There's neither one of them. in any. They're not licensed ministers or any of that. They don't.
So they are not. So as you said, they are not. They are no real pastors. They have no license. They have no pastor's license or anything.
No.
No real ministers. Okay. So concerning your childhood, I understand that Sheren has abused you. Can you give us an example? Can you tell us something about what this woman has done actually? Is there something you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I will give you an example. I'll give you a pretty good one, and it wasn't directed directly at me. It was directed to my brother and my sister. I can remember being, I think I was 8 or 9, and I had a concert. I was in choir in school, and I had a concert, and I went, we had a concert at a church. We went to a church, and I was singing at this church with my choir group, and brother and sister, I guess, weren't acting as good as she thought they should have been, although I couldn't, from where I was sitting, I didn't see anything. I mean, I have kids, so, you know, they do things, and so I didn't see anything that would strike me now as being that bad, but the minute we got into the car, she started screaming. She gets this, and I know people have seen it on the videos where she gets, her mouth gets pursed and her eyes get squinty. That was when everybody knew it was her angry, violent kind of look, and she started screaming at him, and I got scared thinking that she was going to, you know, start hurting me, and that's what, you know, being 8 or 9, I'm worried about myself, and I'm thinking she's going to start hurting me, and we get home, and she has this belt, spikes on one side of it, and it's a leather belt, it's thick, and she turns it inside out so the spikes are on the inside, and goes to beating my brother with it. I mean, horrendously, just the full arms. She beat my brother so bad with it that from about halfway up his back to about the back of his knees, he had turned almost black. From the bruises, black and blue. And she broke this leather belt in half on my brother. And when she went after my sister, the belt was broken already, and she couldn't control the spikes, and she went to beating my sister with this belt, and she beat my sister so bad that they couldn't walk. She had to keep them home from school, afraid that Child Protective Services was going to take them out of the home, and you know, she should have been. It was a pretty horrendous beating, and other examples of that would be when she would get angry, there would be no warning. You could just see the look on her face, and she would slap her face. I've been punched in the face. She would grab me. I remember at age 5 being drugged down the hall by my hair. I mean, she just handfuls of hair slapping me and kicking me at 5.
Oh my.
And this was, yeah, just violent. She was, and I don't know, I would say that she still has these tendencies just from seeing the looks that she gets across her face.
So you basically say by the look on her face that she even has on her video, you can still see that she still has that violent spirit, basically.
Oh, absolutely. I saw it in her face. On more than one of those videos, I can pick it out from a mile away. All 3 of us can. I was like, really? I mean, that violent, crazy kind of, you know that it's coming, and she hasn't. That's not a tendency she's let go of. I can tell you that. I can tell you that with 100% surety. It is not a tendency she's let go of. I can see it in her face when she's on her videos.
Wow.
She's not. You know, you would think if she truly is a child of God, like she's claiming that she is, then those violent tendencies should have been wiped away. I know that they're not. Because
they're not.
Get in place.
Okay. Concerning your brother, that you just testified of your brother and your sister being like violently, like manhandled, basically. Where is your brother and where is your sister at this time? I mean, is there? Do they have the desire?
We all live here in the same state. Everybody lives here except for her. Her entire family is here, and his. They ran off from us because they don't want to deal with the truth anymore.
They ran off because they do not want to deal with the truth.
Right.
Wow.
And we're not. My sister and my brother and I have reached the point where we're not. We're almost tired of being afraid. I mean, we spent a lot of time afraid. It's not a woman that we've had any kind of normal relationship with, way, shape, or form. She's violent. She was violent to us when we were younger. I